Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So as promised, I just finished recording my Spy Family catch-up stream reaction review stuff. So as promised, we're going to get into the, Kaiju No.8 reaction review content. Like I mentioned in my Spy Family stream as well, expect channel updates sometime tonight, hopefully, with just general updates about what series and stuff I'm going to cover the next little while, things like that. Should be relatively short. Don't have too much to say or add, so I'm not going to front load this one too much. So with that said, let's dive straight into it with Kaiju No.8, Chapter 21 by Naoya Matsumoto, translation by David Evelyn, lettering by Brandon Bovia. And you see Kokoro just sitting on tops of the little mushroom-looking kaiju from last time. And you have severed limb has dissipated, collection failed, search party organized. And you see her thinking, Kaiju No.8, Kafka Hibino. Seeing him change in front of me reminded me of what he is. Is he really someone I can trust? And you have a crash. As she looks down, and you see Kafka with his gun just dangling off, kind of just like beaten up looking, kneeling on one of the little robot bodies of rubble nearby. He's like, hey, I'm back. And she looks like all's happy to see him. He's like, sorry for making you worry. And she's like, excuse me? I wasn't worried, but I do have some choice words for... And she's about to say you. And Kafka just totters and is about to fall off. And she jumps down immediately with a whoosh and catches him. He's like, hey, wait, just He's like, sorry, I let it get away. Thing that hurts you. And she's like, not like it matters to me. I'll just kill it myself. And you see him wobbling as he's trying to walk off. And he's like, hold on, where do you think you're going in that state? And he goes, Ichikawa and Iharu are hurt bad. I need to get to him. And just grabs him by the back of his suit and just yanks him back, choking him. He's like, get to them and do what, pray tell? He's like, ugh. He's like, I'm positive they're fine. The Defense Force has been developing spin-off technology from kaiju powers, even tech utilizing the restorative abilities. I'm speaking from first-hand experience, so you know what I'm saying is right, don't you? He's like, yes, ma'am. And you see a 32-year-old being lectured by a teenager. And she's like, never mind that. You need to worry about yourself. Not only did officers spot you, you ran into a Vice Captain Hoshina himself. I wouldn't be surprised if he's caught on to you by now. And you see Hoshina just legs crossed, arms crossed, sitting there contemplating with a sword planted next to him. And you have... It's rare to see you in a slump. As Mina comes behind him and goes, was it that strong? Kaiju No.8? And Hoshina's like, yeesh, you would catch me at my least dignified moment. And she's just like, snap. It's like, I better snap. Or she takes a little picture with her phone. It's like, snap. It's like, better snap a shot for posterity. He's like, quit it. And he's like, I think we have a Dai Kaiju on our hands. And she's just looking shocked. As he goes, that would make it the first emergence since the Fukuoka case from 5 years ago. It's like, yeah, luckily No.8 hasn't claimed any lives over the past few months. It doesn't seem like the type to attack people indiscriminate. And he's like, wait, something's not right. Why did No.8 opt to break my weapon instead of attacking me? Now that I think of it, its movements and reactions all struck me as being kind of off. It felt less like I was fighting a kaiju, and more like I was fighting a human. And he sees eyes just snapping open in surprise as Mina walks off and goes, I'll take over from here, you rest. No matter the type, every kaiju must be neutralized. And he's like, yeah, that's right. It's like, Roger. And you hear blaring, Captain, Vice Captain! He's like, hey, volume control, Ikaruga, what's up? He's like, sorry, sir, I just received some concerning intel from Furuhashi and Ichikawa. The attacker seems to be the humanoid kaiju that was seen on the testing grounds. But when they found the kaiju, it was apparently in human form. And he's like, a kaiju that can transform into a human? And you see now, on to other news. In addition to the kaiju appearance in Sagamihara City yesterday, sometime before dawn, there are also reports of a humanoid kaiju sighted on the scene. An investigation is underway. And you see sign Monster Sweeper. And Jeff, it's Vice Captain Hoshina. It's like, we would like it if you gentlemen could share some details about the missing worker here. Photos of his face, for example. And if they were taken from a variety of angles, that would greatly benefit our search. He's like, so is he alright? Could you tell us anything you might know? And he's like, any matter currently under investigation is classified, but we would appreciate your cooperation. And Jav, is this really the right way to handle this? A kaiju that can transform into a human might be roaming wild, and we're withholding the information from the public. And he goes, it's a decision from the top brass, Eastern Command, so our hands are tied. Plus, I can see their reasoning. Deaths and missing person reports have remained stable, while the thing has been sneaking around as a human. We can assume it won't do anything that will draw attention to itself while it's in hiding. They probably figured it'd be a liability to stir the pot by going public with the news. That's not all, though. If no one knows who's a kaiju, it'd cause widespread doubt among the masses. People would panic and start killing people with passing resemblances, inciting harassment and even rioting. The most that we can do is make sure we find this thing ASAP. And he flips around his phone with a picture of the bulbous kaiju's human disguise. He goes, still, it's weird though. Why would a kaiju in human clothing exist as a person with a family register? And you see the person who disguised itself as, his name is Otaka Takamichi. And you see him on this low road just kind of wobbling and walking. He's like, what the hell's going on here? And you see, hey, out of the way, the hell are you doing in the middle of the road? Some guy in a car from behind him starts honking and hollering at him. He's like, hey, you listening, bud? Move it or lose it. He turns around, just points his finger, and he's like, wah! He's like, better not, as he just walks by him. It's like, standing out even more wouldn't be a good idea. And he looks at his appearance in the mirror and goes, but I should change my face just to be safe. And the angry guy's like, hey, now, what are you gawking at my car for? As he turns around, you see him back in his kaiju form, with arms looming over him. Excuse, this is my eye. As he grabs the guy's shoulder, and you see you got chomp and a crunch on the next page. Jav, this just in the wake of the recent incident, the Defense Force has deemed the humanoid kaiju sighted at the testing grounds and Sagamihara as the long-term neutralization target. Kanji Nagamine, age 34, and lives alone, huh? I'm in luck. You see the kaiju looking at the guy's name the guy he just killed and whose identity stealing. You have registered with the code name Kaiju No.8. And you see him just like transforming into his new disguise as he goes, now then, how should I kill Kaiju No.8? And you see he's transforming back in his kaiju form. He's like, whoops. He shakes his head. I need to keep my head on straight. Guess I better lie low again till I get settled in my new skin. So this is going to be the first mini boss that Kafka's going to have to face. And then we got a little bonus chapter. Not a big deal. Come on. And then you see on Kaiju No.8 chapter 22 by Naoya Matsumoto. A translation by David Evelyn, lettering by Brandon Bovia. Kaiju No.9 is the latest kaiju to receive a code name. It's like a new threat. Could it have ties with Kaiju No.8? Its whereabouts are currently unknown, but the Defense Force is working to uncover its location, along with any ties it may have to No.8. And you see Ichikawa just kind of slowly waking up groggily in bed. It looks like he's awake. He glances over to the side, and he sees Kafka just sitting there. He smiles at him and goes, hey, you're finally up, eh, partner? And he's all just like taken aback for a second. Then he's like getting all emotional. He goes, sir, I'm so glad you're safe. Kafka just smacks him on the head. He's like, that's my line, you friggin' dummy. Don't go stealing it. He's like, I also want to thank you. You not only saved me, but Haru as well. Kafka's like, that was perfect timing. And you see on Reno's other side, Haru's just lying there, also all bandaged up, and he's like, hey, what do you think of the old timer for? And Ishikawa's like, gah! He's like, you're in this room too, Haru? And Haru's like, wasn't the one who saved us Kaiju No.8? And Kikuro's trying to play cover up. She's like, no, see, he meant thanking you for detecting the Yoja's reproductive organs. That was a huge help. And Haru's like, guess you're right. It's like, thanks, old man. And Kafka's like, sure, no problem. He's like, still, I wonder why that kaiju saved us. And you see them just freaking out. It's like, it was super strong. Like, I mean, totally, blammo. It knocked number 9's head clean off its shoulders. And Kid Girl's like, blammo? He's like, I know it's a kaiju, but it was so cool. It's like, man, I wish the two of you could have seen it. And you see Kafka just be like, aw, shucks. And Haru's like, what's got you all giddy old timers? Kikoro just punches him with a doof doof. He's like, giddy? Why, this is the same stupid face he always makes. And you have an oof. It's like, I guess you're right. It's like, we're lucky Haru's so gullible. Whew. You see on the next page, Kikoro goes, hello? It's like, Reno's awake as well. They'll be discharged in 2 weeks. Oh, what the hell is that guy's name? Izumo's like, Roger, I'll move forward as planned then. And you see they have a giant cake with welcome back Furuhashi and Ichikawa. And you see that they're throwing a surprise celebration party with welcome back as they're popping streamers everywhere. And you have, what is all this? And Izumo's like, the wrap-up party for our first mission. We were waiting for you two to be discharged from the hospital. Kafka's like, okay, take it away if you please. And you see these 2 sliding doors pouring open with these servers just waiting there. You have a It's like, sorry to keep you waiting. Here you are. The A6 grade Japanese black Wagyu beef marbled cut course. And you just see this glistening chunks of meat spread out all beautifully on this board. You're like, whoa! It's like, A6? That grade of beef exists? It's like a little translator's note. Like, it does not. He's like, wait a second, Haruichi. What is this? It's like, well, I don't know. Pretty sure I ordered the most reasonably priced course they had. And Jeff, I wouldn't hear of it, sir. We would never shame ourselves by serving such paltry offerings for a dinner being organized by you, Master Izumo. It's like, you can pay the standard prices. It's like, oh no, we couldn't. He's like, really? Lucky us. And he's like, so what's the deal with Haruichi? And Kokoro's like, what? You had him organize this and you didn't know? He's the scion of Izumo Tech, the biggest anti-kaiju weapon manufacturer in the nation. Kafka's like, the company that makes the Defense Force suits? And she's like, yeah, his family's wealth dwarfs my own. And Hoshino goes, all right, you all did a bang-up job on your first mission. It's not often that everyone's off duty at the same time, so make sure to live it up. You have cheers, folks. He's all just knocking back some Corona or koala beer. Koala beer. We see them all just partying and eating. As Reno goes, I've never seen everyone look so happy before. So thank you for allowing this all to happen. And Hoshino goes, don't speak so soon, Reno. The real fun's about to start. It's like, huh? What do you mean by... excuse me? You've done nothing but showboat since training started. You're always wearing your emotions on your sleeve. And Iharu's like, say what? That's rich coming from you. Hikaru's like, well, if you had my unmatched talent, that'd be another story. And Reno's like, wait, no fighting. And you see Owl going, you play too much by your own rules and you're prone to throw the book out the window. And Haruichi's like, and you only go by the book, which is why you fall behind when we're paired up and I'm always having to pick up the slack. You have them too? And you see Kafka going, never mind that, Mr. Big Shot Izumo. You ought to be worried about how weak your family suits are. I wasn't able to take down a single kaiju out there. Care to explain that? He's like, save your complaint for after you draw more power from it. And Reno's like, oh no, not you too, sir. And Jeff, as for you, communicating I could go without the spotty signal in the middle of an operation. It's like, weren't you the one who waltzed right into an area with radio interference? I've said in drills to tell us if that ever happens and we'll try to handle support. It's like, yikes, there's no end to this bickering. Reno's like, huh? But wait, are they... Jeff, you got it now? As Hoshin goes, everyone has started talking about the mission. Granted, with one person making false claims. It's like, right, we've had our first mission, so now we see where we're lacking. It's like, then I'm not the only one. It's like, everyone here wants to get stronger. What the hell did that page go for a second? Oh, there we go. And yeah, Kafka going, want to run that by me again, Aoi? Would it kill you to show some respect for your elders? See me in arm wrestling. And Aoi is just like, I only respect those stronger than me. So then you're in luck. Let's throw down. I'll have you screaming uncle in no time, punk. Jeff, hold on. So I've had enough to hear with you, with your crap bonehead. So I took the words right out of my mouth, you lousy jerk. And you see Kafka's just getting his arm slammed as he's screaming, "Uncle!" It's like, everyone, you're getting too fired up. Stop it right now. And you see Hoshino going, "See?" It's like, "Wow, haha." It's like, "Yes, it's practically a yearly tradition." And Hoshino goes, "Right then. Okay, settle down, folks. I think it's about time I made an announcement." And Kafka's like, "Huh? About what?" "Jeff Kafka, your findings during the operation have gone on record for substantially mitigating potential damage. So you're getting promoted to general officer." Yes. "Yeah, we informally made the decision today. We'll formally set you up at a later date. But once again, welcome to the Defense Force 3rd Division Officer." And he's just like, "Hell yeah!" as he's celebrating. Oh, yes. Oh, I love it. Oh, so this is just a bonus chapter? Or we have a chapter after this? I think we only got a bonus chapter, so I think this is where I'm going to cut it off. Give me a second to confirm. Yes, bonus chapter, new chapters coming in 4 days. But yeah. So this Kaiju Showcase with some art and things. Alright. So quick thoughts, I guess, before I wrap this up here. Again, Kaiju number 8. One of my favorite new series in Shonen Jump. Again, I love having a relatable protagonist, it's close to my age rather than being, a teenager. It's a lot younger. So, yeah, really, really relatable. Really love that. Love all the little character interactions and dynamics. Not really a lot to say. Like, a lot of this is just kind of cleaning up the fallout from the last few chapters and the mini arc, like the Mushroom Kaiju being discovered and kind of outed. So, the thing with them, like, being able to, like, take on different disguises and human forms and everything, I feel like that's eventually going to have to come into play, either with, like, somehow finding a way to detect kaiju or something else. But that's an interesting kind of hiccup because we know the kaiju number 8 and 9 exist. We don't know what kaiju's number 1 to 7 are like, or where they are and where they exist. So the fact that they can kind of blend in with society and can, like, take on different disguises and everything makes it for an interesting kind of plot line to kind of discover and figure out, like, how high up in the chain of command, I guess, they go. Really reminds me, similar to, because I'm doing a rewatch right now of Deep Space Nine, with the founders being changed and they kind of morph and disguise themselves into different forms and shapes. So that adds a lot of potential, like different ways that could kind of work into character interactions and things like that. So it'll be interesting to see how far they take it. I still do wonder if we're going to see Kafka do, like, a training regimen to figure out exactly what the extent of his powers are and how you train them up. Like, I'm curious as well, like, how or if the kaiju can kind of, like, upgrade or change their abilities. Does it happen by can they do it by consuming other kaiju? Is that going to become an element of it? So yeah, a lot of this chapter set up kind of a lot of potential interesting directions that these future story can go. I will admit, I'm glad that this is, like, one of the few series where it does kind of acknowledge the more bureaucratic elements of having something like a defense force, and, like, acknowledges the reason that they can't, just send out news alerts like that about the kaijus being able to, assume human form. And I do like that they're also acknowledging, like, the worth that someone like Kafka does have, even if he isn't able to, use his suit to kill kaiju. The fact that they are kind of recognizing, appreciating his knowledge of kaiju anatomy and the importance of that in battle. I think very few series actually give credit to those kinds of roles. So I'm glad that Kafka's getting recognized for it in his role, and he's being promoted. So it'll be interesting to see where I go from there. Like I mentioned with my Spy Family review, I'll do my best to try to keep... I don't know what the hell got in my eyes, irritating it. I'll try to catch I'll try to keep more current with the Kaiju #8 reviews rather than like doing catch-up streams constantly. Cause I think the next chapters I think drop on Thursdays. So reaction likely won't be out until Sunday, but I'll try to now keep it current with the reactions and the chapters as they come out. That said, thank you for joining the stream. As always, if you like my content, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really does mean a lot and it helps me out a ton. Like I said, I'll hopefully have a channel update video out some point tonight. Till next time, this is Ash. Talk to you all later.